Hey, thanks Ryan for that great introduction. I always appreciate your kind words, support, and encouragement. You're the best. All right, before I get started, I would like to thank each and every one of you for allowing me to be a part of this amazing ACTIVZ Global Training event. Isn't it wonderful? Gosh, I'm so motivated. It's great. It is an honor, and I'm truly humbled to have this opportunity to speak to you today on the subject of transferring belief. So leadership is a transfer of belief. What does that mean? Well, what you believe and how and to what extent you share your beliefs to others makes a huge difference in the success or failure of your ACTIVZ team and of your business. As individuals, we are all striving to be better leaders. Our beliefs, our words, our actions, and how we communicate directly with others affects the people we interact with and the team environment we create. So, I'm going to reiterate. Leadership is a transfer of belief. Throughout my life, I have found that the real difference between my success and my failures in just about every endeavor I've ever done has directly correlated to my level of belief and how I transferred that belief to the people who looked up to me as a leader. When I was a good leader, and I definitively and positively transferred my belief to others, I saw my teams and businesses experience success. As a matter of fact, in most cases, it was really great success. However, when I look back and I see and evaluate the times that I failed being a strong leader for others, I lacked transferring my belief effectively, or I was negative in my words or actions, my team and I both suffered. And at times, my business even failed. Now, I wish I could say that I'm always a good leader in all situations now, but that would just not be true, and if you know me, totally probably unrealistic. We all have good times and bad times. We all have good days and not so good days. However, what I can say is that I do believe that I have been a good leader more times than not, and that I have learned from my nots and have become a better leader in ACTIVZ and a more positive role model for each and every one of you. So now, I have a few questions for you. Are you open to learning about the absolutely most important lesson on how to be a good leader? When you find these nuggets of wisdom to be of value, now notice, I didn't say if you find these nuggets to be of value, I said when you find these nuggets of wisdom to be of value. Will you implement them into your ACTIVZ business and ACTIVZ team as soon as possible? So what do you say? Did you say yes? Well, say it again. Say it out loud. Say, yes, I want to be a good leader in ACTIVZ. That's excellent. So do I. I'm going to be right here with you. And the quicker we put the tips that we're about to discuss into use into our ACTIVZ business, the sooner you and I will start growing both of our teams and company exponentially. So let's get started. There are 6 things that I have learned that will help you develop the most important leadership skill ever, transferring your beliefs. So, step 1, transfer your beliefs through strong communication. Communication is a powerful tool that leaders can use to create an environment that brings forth an individual's motivation and commitment. When you as a leader share your vision, optimism, and purpose-driven goals, you provide relevant information to those who need it, you make team members feel useful and important, and you provide the glue that binds the team members to you and to ACTIVZ. Your transparency and communication of ACTIVZ missions and goals, our achievements and improvements, and individual distributors' advancements and successes is imperative if you want your team members to bring their heart and soul to building your team and this company we call ACTIVZ. Now, communicating your beliefs isn't always easy. If we're not careful, we may send the wrong message to our team and our prospects that is garbled and unclear, and that just leads to confusion and disenchantment. Have you ever experienced this? Well, I have, and I didn't like it. It didn't feel good at all. So make sure you are communicating with transparency, authenticity, and clarity. Whether you have a scheduled morning meeting or making prospect calls on the afternoon or Zoom training in the evenings, Make it a priority to take time to connect with each and every member of your team on a regular basis. You may be busy, but you should never be too busy to communicate with your team. And the truth of the matter is that you really can't afford not to communicate frequently with your team members. Regular positive communication is the activity that inspires motivation, trust, and certainty. It dispels team fear, negativity, and skepticism. No actions, especially during times of uncertainty and change, which we all know that we're experiencing right now, are more powerful than when leaders take the time to communicate and build relationships with their team. So here's a great example of effective communications. It's one of my favorite stories in regards to John F. Kennedy. President John F. Kennedy toured the NASA Space Center shortly after he announced the United States was going to send a man to the moon and bringing him back safely by the end of the decade. Kennedy was wrapping up his visit and tour when he came upon a janitor mopping the floor. He asked the janitor, "What's your job here?" And the janitor responded, "I'm helping put a man on the moon." Now, that is a clear, concise, and transferable communication from the leader of the free world to all of his team members, even the janitor. Action number 2, transfer your leadership optimism. As a leader, your most important weapon against pessimism, which is pretty prevalent right now, especially during this time of COVID, is to transfer your optimism and vision to others, and to do it as often as you possibly can. This inspires others to think and act in ways that drive positive results. Leadership is a transfer of belief, and great leaders inspire teams to believe that they can succeed. As a leader and manager, you are not just leading and managing people, but you are also leading and managing their beliefs. You must utilize every opportunity available to transfer your optimism. From Zoom meetings to daily emails to individual conversations, even to our weekly corporate updates, it's imperative that you share your optimism with your team as often as possible. Optimism is a competitive advantage. Yes, a competitive advantage. And you need to convey it in all that you say and do. As one of the greatest American inventors, Henry Ford, said, "Think you can or think you can't. Either way, you are correct." Number 3, transfer your belief and build a team vision. To inspire team motivation, leadership must share the vision. It's not enough to just be optimistic. You must give your team and organization something to be optimistic about. Talk about where you and ACTIVZ have been, where you and ACTIVZ are, and where we all are going in ACTIVZ. Share your plan for a brighter and better future. Talk about the actions you are going to take to meet your goals, and consistently reiterate the reasons why you will be successful. Create a belief statement that inspires and rallies your team and organization. Know your and your team's whys and mold them together into one awesome team vision that all of you can strive together to achieve. Number 4, understand that transferring your belief builds great relationships. Relationships build real motivation. It's much easier to motivate someone if you know them, they know you, and you all spent time building a level of trust. After all, if you don't take the time to get to know someone or the people that you're partnering with, then how can you ever truly know the best way to lead, coach, and motivate them effectively? And for that matter, how can you expect them to trust and follow you if they don't know you? Relationships are the foundation upon which winning teams and organizations are built. I advise you as a leader to make your relationships with your team members your number 1 priority. In fact, I've watched numerous coaches and I've seen firsthand how the most successful coaches and the best motivators are those who develop meaningful relationships with their players. The same strategy that works on the playing field works on the ACTIVZ field as well. Be responsible in building your relationships. Number 5, leadership creates purpose-driven goals. Each team needs to create their purpose-driven goals. When it comes down to it, The real force behind motivation has nothing to do with money or number-driven goals. Real motivation is driven by purpose and a desire to make a difference. In fact, people are most energized when they are using their strengths for a purpose beyond themselves. When distributors feel that what they do is playing an integral role in the overall success of ACTIVZ and the world, they are motivated to work harder. Similarly, when they feel as though they are working for something more than just the bottom line, they feel good about all they are doing to build the team and the company. So, as a leader, you will want to motivate your team by focusing less on number goals and more on purpose-driven goals. It's not the numbers that drive your people, but your people and purpose that drive the numbers. Sit down with each individual on your team and talk through their personal goals and how you see those goals, their goals, fit into the bigger picture. Give them a sense of purpose that will fuel their fire towards taking action. And finally, number 6, transferring belief will nourish your team. These may seem like strange words to apply to our company, ACTIVZ, because we have such a great team. But I promise you, they are spot on. The main questions that every person in every organization wants to know: do you care about me? And can I trust you? If you can answer yes to both of these questions, your team members will be more likely to stay on the ACTIVZ train and be a partner with you. Distributors who feel cared for, honored, and nourished are more engaged in what they're doing and will work at their highest potential. Well, think about it. The recent Gallup research poll states that individuals who think their uplines really care about them are more loyal and productive than those who don't. If you nourish your team and take the time to invest in them, they will pay you back in productivity, creativity, and loyalty. If your teammates know that you really are interested in them and you really care about them versus you really just want to earn a paycheck off them, well, they will have a tendency to do whatever it takes to make both of you successful. Here is a simple, easy formula to remember. Belief plus action equals results. If you don't believe that something can happen, then you won't take the actions necessary to create it. If you believe that your team can do these big things, they will believe it too. And that belief will fuel the fires of action and provide you with the results you're looking for. Showing someone that you really care is the greatest motivator of all. Okay, well that's it. Those are my 6 keys to TYB, or transferring your belief. You should learn them, use them, and transfer them. Now I have a few final thoughts. Nowhere are these 6 leadership actions more important than in your team and in your ACTIVZ business. Leadership through transferring belief strives to draw forth the best that each and every one of us have to offer. It increases our intrinsic motivation and it pumps up our discretionary energy. Great leaders share their belief, vision, purpose, and passion with others. And in the process, they inspire others to believe, act, and impact. Great leaders are positively contagious, and they instill confidence and belief in others. Go ACTIVZ, go! I want to be that type of leader. How about you? Be that type of leader today. Positively transfer your belief into your people, and let's together get ACTIVZ to the moon.